Okay, another problem on this review sheet that typically gives people trouble. This word problem where we're asked to make a prediction. And this really is an example of we're going to be writing a linear equation. The problem says a linear model. And I hope you went back and looked at these homework problems, these 4 problems on page 81, because we did some practicing with these a while back, but I don't want you to forget it because you'll do something like this on your semester exam. So this is one of those review problems. So if you remember when we covered these the first time, the key to me to unlocking this problem is to go directly. I mean, you can read the information, but the key to this is looking at what you're asked to do. You were asked to predict the year in which the house will be, and feet is a given number. Year is unknown. We're asked to find it given the feet. Find the year if you're given the feet. So what it is in this case that you are asked to find, and this is true for all of these word problems, when you're asked to find a particular entity, that represents the y variable. The unknown is the y variable. So everywhere before this sentence where the problem talks about a year, I'm just going to write a y above it. Okay, and that's 2 different years, 1990 and 2000. The given number, the feet, then will represent the x variable. And why do I do that? Well, again, I'm asked to write a linear model. Well, linear model means it's going to be in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. To write this equation, I need to figure out what the slope of this line is. And I have 2 ordered pairs now identified as x and y here and x and y here. If I know 2 ordered pairs on a line, I can use my formula to find the slope of that line. So that's the reason why we just identified those 4 numbers, 2 x coordinates and 2 y coordinates. Okay, so this top pair of numbers as an ordered pair would be 430, because feet is x, 1990, year is y, because that's what I'm asked to find, and the other ordered pair would be 400, whoop, sorry about that, 400 feet, 2000 year. All right, so now we have a couple of ordered pairs. Let's find the slope. So I'm going to take y2. In my case, I'm going to say that's 2000 minus y1, 1990, divided by x2, which is 400, minus x1, which is 430. Do the subtraction. We get 10 over negative 30, which reduces to negative 1/3. Okay, so far I have this much of my equation. If I only had the number for b, I would have a complete equation. But I don't have the number for b. I've got to solve for b. And here's how I do it. I'm going to pick either one of these ordered pairs. It doesn't really matter which. I think I'm just going to go with this ordered pair to use in this equation where I'm trying to find b. I'm going to use 2000 for y and 400 for x to help me find b. Okay, so in this case, the numbers here are getting kind of big. If you want to use your calculator and change these into decimal form, that's fine. If you do negative 1/3 times 400, that's the same thing as dividing 400 by negative 3. and just round to the nearest hundredths is what I'm going to do. So that's negative 133.33. And now to solve for b, I get 2133.33. Okay, now I know what b is to go along with the slope that I found already. So here is my linear model, what the problem asks me to find. Y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2133.33. Okay, and if you had rounded this a little differently, since I didn't really say, like if you had rounded this to the tenths, that would have been okay. That's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if you understand that this represents a line and you know how to go through the necessary steps in order to find the equation for the line. Okay, we have the model. Now we're going to make the prediction. So in what year, remember y is the year, that's what we're trying to find, will the house be 250 feet? X represents feet. So that's going to be pretty easy to do. We just plug 250 into this equation for x and use our calculator, and we will know in what year. So once again, in your calculator, negative 1/3 times 250 is the same thing as dividing 250 by negative 3, and that's negative 83.33. And we're going to add that to 2133.33. And we get 2049.99. So, of course, we're talking about a year, and years are not represented in decimal form. So we're going to just round that up to the next closest year. So we're going to say in about, since we rounded, about the year 2050, the house will be 250 feet. Away from the water. Okay? And so that's your final answer. So work through this a couple of times. I know these problems really cause problems for people, but I think if you will attack it in this way, find out what it is that the problem is asking for and let that be your y variable, and that tells you then what x will represent. And then from there, it should be a review of finding slope and writing the linear equation. So let me know if I can help you with that.